Holy mackerel. Roy Zimmerman. So, Roy, it's great to see you.
Great to be seen. It's fantastic.
Yeah, man, you've been being seen a lot of lately.
That's right.
So cool. So, I've been talking you up on the show a little bit, and people are a little familiar with some of your history and your commitment to the intersection of music, humor, politics, etc. And I'm so happy for you. Your newfound, you went viral during a virus. That's a first, I think.
Right.
So if I'm not mistaken, we're talking like 70 million views of your.
It's getting close to 70 million views. Yeah. It's been amazing what that song has done. Of course, it's a song parody, right? It's the Lion tweet, The Lion Sleeps Tonight, which is a well-known, well-beloved song. And that helps because people instantly connect with it, and then with the point that we're making when we change the lyrics.
Oh yeah, man, it's beautiful. It's funny. I mean, I've learned quite a bit about the original song and the history of the original song as a result.
Mm-hmm.
I got interested again, but anyway, it's so cool. So when you started, the first time I saw you was back on Melrose in Hollywood with The Foreman. And then, but I grew up in a family that we all loved all that stuff: comedy, musical comedy, Smothers Brothers, political dissent, and the different intersections, all the way from Bob Dylan and Blowing in the Wind, and the potential power of a song to really affect history, right? And 70 million views. So yeah, you must have looked at all of these demographics. What is the breakdown? Are they all? I mean, how many are in America, percentage-wise, roughly?
Well, and first of all, a lot of them are broken down, and it began. It went in waves, kind of like a virus, I suppose. This one started in America, and it's still being passed around Europe to a great degree, because a lot of the emails that we're getting about it now are coming from Germany, Finland, Denmark, etc. From Europe, and from Australia and from Great Britain and all too. It turns out there's a lot of goodwill out there, despite our Donald Trump and what he's done on the world stage. There's a lot of people rooting for us to do the right thing in November. Yeah. That's what we're discovering.
Yeah. Wow. So powerful. So I saw you and I saw each other not long ago, I don't know, 6 months ago in New Orleans. And it was an intimate night. And as I've mentioned on this show before, you have walked the talk out there. You and Melanie have gone out there touring and doing venues, anything from bookstores to churches, all sorts of cool stuff. Club Helsinki, in this neck of the woods. And I just admire and thank you for taking your message to the streets the way you have been and keeping the faith. It's just amazingly cosmic how things work out. Next thing you know, you got 70 million new friends.
That's the rewarding thing for us. I mean, it's a video that we could not have made on the road, because we were constantly touring, constantly, playing audiences big and small, and finding like-minded people all over the country. So that didn't leave a lot of time for video making, but especially of this sort, where we're assembling little videos from people all over the country. For those who may not have seen the video, it involves cameos from people who sent in their video submissions, from all over the country. So we wouldn't have been able to do it on the road, and yet we wouldn't have been able to do it if we hadn't been on the road either.
Fascinating.
Yeah, because these are the people from whom we've heard on the road. These are our people, and we wanted to make them feel less isolated, right? Make a video where they feel less isolated. They're involved, and as a result, we feel less isolated. Here we are at home making these videos, but we've got participation from people all over the world now.
It's amazing, and it's so cool because, and again, at the same time, we're in a time of separation where everyone's dealing with, just especially over the last few months. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, that's the irony of it too. It's been observed many times over that the way we stay together is to stay apart right now, right? You know, but the converse is true too. You know, this Trump the Trump rally, the, the way they stay apart is they got together.
Oh my God! So you must have at least one song in the works about Tulsa, Roy, right? You gonna
Well, I mean, it's all about that now, isn't it? I mean, that's the, you know, that is the modus operandi of satirists everywhere. So yeah, you know, we're doing a version 2, for instance, of the Liar Tweets tonight, and we've got lots of submissions and invite more submissions for that, because we plan to do one a month until Election Day, and most of that, of course, is, you know, most of what he's lying about these days. Most, not all, of what he's lying about is about COVID and how it's gonna go away miraculously, and we're gonna have a vaccine, and I'd rather have whatever. Anyway, you know the whole story.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the numbers are spiking in Arizona, Texas, Florida.
Yeah.
And especially today, huge.
Yeah.
Insanity, obviously. Well, on a cheerier subject. So your first viral effort was Creation Science 101, right?
Way back when, yes, exactly. I posted that video, Creation Science 101, and I was amazed when it hit a million views on YouTube.
Yeah.
It was, you know, that seems like ancient history now, you know, because YouTube was a different animal altogether than it is right now.
Yeah, big time.
Kept passing that one around, and that's, you know, again, it's because the issue that was involved there, creationism versus evolution, touches the nerve with so many people.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting when you remember Mama Hilly Beans? I remember you came up.
Of course,
yes.
Love the club, yeah.
Well, that was me and my wife Hillary.
Right.
My wife at the time, Hilly, and we had a great show with you up there. But in that neck of the woods, actually, Tehachapi High School, and across the mountains on the Grapevine. I can't remember the name of that little town. It's where the big truck stop is. Very, very, very right-wing Christian little town.
Sure.
And that's where they were. There were 2 school boards that were aggressively trying to get, and the ACLU showed up, and they both closed shop up on that effort. But anyway, I do remember when you got so many views, and I was just like, this is so cool. It's music, it's funny, it makes you think, and 1 million people are watching it. And now what? 1 million? Holy moly! Now you're at.
Oh yeah. Yeah, well, that's why I say it's a different. It is truly a different world. You know, political consciousness is at a fever pitch as well. That may be a symptom that we need to look into. But people are really tuned in to that intersection you were just talking about, the intersection of music and humor and politics, and too. It's a busy intersection these days.
Well, I'm glad you got company, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, do you have? So, tell me a little bit about how your life has changed when you woke up and you had, you know, millions and millions and millions and millions of views. What was that like?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of correspondence to catch up with, but again, then we're hearing from a lot of people, you know, and you know, it runs 99.7% positive. People saying, keep going, and you made me laugh, and I watch this 2 or 3 times a day just to keep my spirits up and all too.
Wow. There you go.
And so, yeah, you know, so you know, what I had been saying on the road is doubly true for this video too, which is that I'm not preaching. People say you're preaching to the choir. I'm not preaching at all. You know, I'm testifying to my beliefs, you know, to our beliefs, Melanie's and mine, and people are responding to that. We're entertaining the troops is what we're doing.
Definitely. Oh, definitely. Yeah. So, you're going to be staying at home for a while, answering your emails, or you got any plans to get back out on the road? And
well, I would love to get back out. I mean, there's going to be a new normal at some point. Where people feel safe gathering in places and laughing out loud with each other and all that too, you know. And when that happens, I will look forward to being in front of people again. doing these songs. But in the meantime, you know, like all folk musicians, like all entertainers, really, who made their living on the road, we're having to retool the machine and make the machine work for the new reality.
Yep, no doubt about it. And of
Mhm.
course, you know, Club Helsinki,
Right.
predicated on being a support system to people like yourself and many other people, and to you know, I mean, our business model, our love is getting a lot of people together in a confined area, and you
Right.
know, it's sort of based on that. And it's been
Right.
tough. Helsinki was the first business in Hudson to close.
You should do a Trump rally, because I think 6,000 people would pretty much fill your place.
All right. Well, we'll put that on the list. I'll send that along to Mark and Deb, and we'll discuss it along with everything else. But yeah, we've obviously every day we're looking at what we can do, how we can do it, when we can do it, and right now
Right.
we're not doing it. But yeah, Helsinki closed was the first business, I believe, in Hudson, big business restaurants that closed, and yeah, we're all working at
Mhm.
home. We're all working at home. And so I just saw a new video. I think it's a new video. Is it Driving While Black? Is that the name of it?
Yes, DWB, Driving While Black. Yes, indeed.
It's excellent. When did you do that?
Well, the song was written, you
Yeah.
know, years ago, when Eric Garner was murdered by Staten Island police,
Yeah.
to describe not just that one incident, you know, but the phenomenon of racism in our institutions, you know, using that as a taking off place to describe that phenomenon, from the point of view of the institution. Like a lot of satirical songs, this one is not a funny song per se,
Right.
and it's a song that I labored over for quite a while.
I bet you
Find
did.
a way for me, you know, a snowflake from the suburbs of San Francisco, uh, to a way into that subject matter.
Yeah, it's not light, funny material, and the cellist, beautiful. Who is that?
It's our dear friend Clovis Lewis.
Yeah.
Clovis Lewis, who is he's a fascinating guy. I mean, we've written a blog about him, and not to say our blog. I'm saying him. He's a fascinating guy, computer entrepreneur, digital artist, composer, cellist, and now Unitarian minister.
The good old Unitarians. Where would we be without them?
Mm-hmm.
You know you must know the great joke. What? Oh, geez, how does it go? Oh God, I got to get this right. Oh, what happens if you combine a KKK guy and a Unitarian?
Someone's going to burn a question mark on your lawn. Is that how
Right.
it goes? Yeah, there we go. Okay.
Some idiot who's going to burn it. Right? Yeah, that's right. Okay. All right. I figured you knew that one. Yeah. So yeah, that's a beautiful and powerful video. So
Thank you. It is, and Clovis is. I mean, we wanted to do it as I say, it's a years old song, you know, but we wanted to redo it in the context of what's happening right now, and we wanted to do it as a dialogue between my voice, the voice of the song, which is told from the cop's point of view, and the voice of Clovis's cello, which is so articulate and so heartfelt and beautiful.
yeah, it works, man. It really, really works. It's very powerful and beautiful. Cool beans. So, Roy, how many songs do you think you got? You're a prolific writer. How many of these amazing since starting count back in Foreman days? What do you think? Political songs.
Oh, you mean well altogether? I don't know. I've never counted, but
Yeah, 500 maybe. I don't know.
1,000 songs. I'm sure I've written 1,000 songs, and my wife and I write together. We've written 500 of those together.
Yeah. So you ever get writer's block and just only knock out like 10 a day, or?
Some of them come. Some people say these songs write themselves. That you hear that phrase, and they do, but you have to be there while they do that, and you can't just sort of set it on the stun and go away. And some of them, percolate for a long time, and then pour out really quickly. Some of them you sit down to write, and you're starting from square one, so that they take days and days to write.
Yeah. You and I have a mutual friend, I think. I don't know you're aware, Laura Love.
Oh, Laura Love. We
Yeah,
love her.
I know. What's not to love? Laura Love played Mama Hilly Beans back in Tehachapi, and
Great.
she used to play. What was it? I think maybe it was the Mill Pond Festival up in Bishop.
Mm-hmm.
And I think maybe I knew. You guys did a video at Freight and Salvage, right, in Berkeley? That's where you did.
Laura was a part of a video that I wrote a song called, my wife and I wrote a song called Summer of Loving, which is about the loving decision.
Right.
And sort of a mamas and papas sort of
Oh
take
yeah.
song. And Laura was gracious enough to be one of our mamas.
Oh yeah.
For the song. We also had Sandy O from Emma's Revolution. So a lot of your viewers might recognize that name, and John McCutcheon, who's a folk stalwart, from the South. And we were the mamas and papas of that video. Yeah, we shot it at the old Freight, and then. But I've done a bunch of other stuff with Laura too. In the meantime, notably. The title track from my most recent video, Rise Up. Laura sings a beautiful duet, basically, on that song. And it would not be the same song without Laura, definitely. There's a video coming up on that one as well.
Wonderful. You got any words of wisdom for aspiring satirical songwriter, world-changing type people out there who are watching?
Keep going.
Yeah.
Keep going. We get, because once again, because The Liar Tweets Tonight is a song parody, we get all kinds of people writing us saying, I've got this song parody idea.
Oh, I bet. Oh my gosh.
Of course, because that is the democratic process. People can jump in and say, I know I got a take on this song or whatever. The more, the better. We always say, thanks for joining the satire brigade, and we encourage people to write as many of those and perform as many of those as possible. So keep going. I mean, there are two sides of it. Of course, there's the song parody side,
Sure.
And then there's the original song side as well. That's a more rarefied world, of course, writing your own song. But there are many people doing that to great effect then too. I mentioned Emma's Revolution. I know John McCutcheon himself is busy doing that. But there are a lot of songs out there. So the other word of encouragement would be seek these songs out. Go to YouTube and search for Black Lives Matter, search for anti-war, search for anti-Confederacy, whatever. You're going to find something.
Yeah, very cool. Well, I got a feeling that this really is a seminal moment as far as your influence on Lord knows how many millions of young potential songwriters out there. And like I said, in my formative year, the Smothers Brothers were. Very and they weren't political in their comedy. They were making social commentary. They got political with the TV show, but before that, and that's so. I know I can remember how big of an impression that that genre made on me, and I think.
Me too, absolutely. As a young youngster, and then later on catching up with some of the stuff that I'd missed, absolutely.
Yeah, YouTube's great for that, right? I've gone back and watched some Smothers Brothers show from 68, 69 that I missed. Holy moly. Pat Paulson. You remember Pat Paulson's gun control position? Give everyone a gun, let them wear it, lock up all the bullets. He said this would be especially great for the sportsman who says that the thrill of hunting is stalking your game. Imagine the thrill of stalking an 800-pound grizzly with an unloaded rifle. He lived up in Tehachapi at the same time I did, and I never met him. God, I wish I had.
Yeah. That was great stuff. Some of it, unfortunately, still applicable.
Oh my God. Thank you so much for sharing some time with us. And Just to let you know, we're going to be playing your songs weekly on our show. You have a regular slot on our show, and I will be.
Oh, well, absolutely. Thank you so much. And for any of you viewers who want to go to royzimmerman.com and check out what we're doing, go to Facebook and find me there. Certainly, right. And above all, sign up for my mailing list, because that's the way we announce new songs and new videos
Excellent.
most immediately.
We will do that. And keep on keeping on. It's great talking to you.
Thank you, Cameron. I had a great time.
All right. See you soon, I hope.
You
Bye.
bet. Bye-bye.